study,
and play come together on a Windows 11 PC.
And for a limited time, college students get
the best of both worlds.
Get the Unreal College Deal. Everything you need to study and play with select Windows 11 PCs. Eligible students get a year of Microsoft 365 Premium and a year of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with a custom color Xbox wireless controller. Learn more at windows.com/student offer. While supplies last. Ends June 30th. Terms at aka.ms/collegepc.
Good sleep is everything. That's why Ollie's Science Back Support is made with a blend of melatonin and L-theanine for both kiddos and grown-ups. So when your mind won't switch off, you've got something that can help. Your racing thoughts and restless nights won't stand a chance. Find Ollie sleep solutions for the whole family at ollie.com. That's OLLY.com.
This is what everyone's talking about.
Everything's on the table.
This is what champions come to take. This is what everyone came to see.
And the slam!
No do-overs. No second chances. No more Mr. Nice Guy. This is winner take all. And it's all happening now on the home of the NBA Finals. Don't miss it. June 3rd on ABC and the ESPN app.
This episode is brought to you by Redfin. You're listening to a podcast, which means you're probably multitasking. Maybe even scrolling home listings on Redfin, saving homes without expecting to get them. But Redfin isn't just built for endless browsing. It's built to help you find and own a home. With agents who close twice as many deals, when you find the one, you've got a real shot at getting it. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
This episode is brought to you by Ferrero. Soccer's biggest stage is approaching, and Ferrero is making it easy to go all in. Pick any two Ferrero brands from Kinder Bueno to Ferrero Rocher, and you could win the $1 million grand prize, plus an exciting range of daily and weekly prizes. Don't miss your shot. Official rules apply. Learn more at goallinandwin.com.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of The Reality Is. As always, it's Noor, and I'm riding solo today because we have a lot of content coming up. A little programming update. So I know everybody enjoyed the double feature of the Summer House recap with Ray. I'm really excited because this week, to do part 2 of the reunion for Summer House, I'm going to have Kea Wilson from Bravo We're Black. And if you listen to this episode, you know what? I realize it's not going to be out before the reunion tonight airs, but if you started following me because of Threads, because I was in the Summer House official Threads chat during the reunion, the live chat, hi, welcome. But anyway, to go back to programming, there's a lot going on. We have Summer House on, The City, Love Island is back. And, I had to make some decisions. I had to make some programming decisions. I thought about last week recording an episode about the Valley. And you know what? It bummed me out. Like, the Valley is just such a bummer show. And, it's like one thing to watch a bummer show and just be like, okay, they're a bummer, but like, at least my life is good. So like, it's okay. It's like, of course, Vanderpump Rules was also a bummerific show. Summer House, Ryan Bailey hilariously has been calling it Bummer House. Like, the Valley is also a bummer, but I think the Valley is a bummer in another way. I have this theory that Bravo initially, we loved it, right? Because it was like watching these catty women go at each other about petty shit. And that's the best thing about being a Housewife fan is all of the petty shit that they're always doing with each other, right? And then I think that Bravo has sort of adjusted their programming based on the engagement and the chatter and the content that's being created based on what is on TV. And that has to be one of the top reasons. It's this and another reason, which I'll get to. That has to be one of the top reasons why we still have shows like Summer House and The Valley and, all of these problematic men still on the show. Because I think that Bravo is aware that, yes, their audience is primarily women. And yes, a lot of those women bizarrely do love these problematic men. But I also think that they're also recognizing that there is really a joy in shitting on men. And I think that part of the chatter about watching The Valley is watching people complain about the Dannys and the Lukes and the Jessies. Like Jesse this week can't even pay $20 of health insurance for his daughter. He took out a loan in 2020 for like $500,000 and it went to collections. And now his ex-wife is so desperate and wanting a divorce that she's like, whatever, I'll cover for half of that debt if you just sign the fucking papers. Like Luke, he had a really good day because he got to go fishing. All of these people are watching Danny grope women and be horrible to women and be like, well, if we're going to talk about his drinking problem, everybody has a drinking problem. Yeah, you all do. So I think that there's just something about these shows, certain shows that Bravo is airing, that I think rely on the anger of the man haters of the world. I mean, that has to be the reason why they cast that guy Kenny on The City, right? Or in The City. But I think, like I said, going back to the two main reasons, I think that the fact that having shitty men on TV gets a lot of online engagement, therefore it gets a lot of people talking and watching a TV show. I think that's part of it. But I think the other part, obviously, is something that we've known about Andy Cohen all this time, which is that he loves to, for some reason, market these shows to men. It's so weird. It's like, why do you give so much space to all these terrible straight men on your network? It's so bizarre. I will say the one thing on The Valley that I really did appreciate, and it bummed me out, but it did appreciate it, is that the scene that Jasmine, first it pissed me off, and then it was like, I'm glad Jasmine got a conversation with Kristen, which is that whole scene about Jasmine being like, so Lala can go to Nia about all the ways that Danny was mean to Lala and Nia will receive it. Meanwhile, when Jasmine tried to raise it, it was a problem. And Jasmine's like, is it because I'm black? Is it because I'm gay? Is it because I'm a woman who, like, it could be anything, there could be any reason why they wouldn't believe her. But a lot of those reasons point to her being a marginalized person. And I appreciated that she brought it up because I think we're all thinking it. She said it in the confessional, like, are they only listening to Lala because she's a white woman? And honestly, that's probably true. And that's the unfortunate, disgusting world that we live in. I'm so glad she's bringing it up. And I hope that they bring it up again because I do want Nia and Danny and the whole group to address that. I want them to address it. I want them to, take a pause and assess whether or not they are behaving this way. Because even Kristen being like, oh, Jasmine's drunk. Like, no, you're all drunk. Everybody's drinking. Why do we get to say Jasmine's drunk and then not listen to her? It's very strange. Also, like, I think there was one point where like Danny and Nia are talking and Danny's like, I have a therapist and a counselor and a wellness coach. A wellness coach? That's some maha shit, okay? Anyway, all of that to say, we're swapping out the Valley. Southern Hospitality is wrapping up. We're swapping out the Valley for Love Island. So today's episode, didn't even get to it. Today's episode is about Rhode Island and Atlanta. So Tuesday's episodes will be Rhode Island, Atlanta. Thursday's episode will be Summer House in the city. And then Friday or Saturday's episode will be the week's recap of Love Island. Okay, because Love Island USA is back. Anyway, let's talk about Rhode Island, which is just so good. It's just such an excellent show. We opened the episode back up with Liz, Joellen, and Alicia arriving at the Sinatra Sunday thing for Rosie's husband, Rich. And Alicia has been sobbing. She is sobbing. She cannot stop sobbing. And the more Alicia cries, the meaner and weirder Liz gets. Like, Liz is now like, oh, now I'm a fucking monster. Well, Liz, you're certainly behaving in a way that one would say is quite monsterly. You're not behaving unmonsterly enough as the night progresses. And so one might think that. I think that Liz is one of those people that views people who cry or people who are emotional as now, oh, if that person is crying, they're a victim, and if they are a victim, then I am an abuser. And I would say that that is a legit fear that sometimes you can have, but in this scenario, Liz, you are the abuser. I don't know how to say it, but it's true. So Joellen in this situation, I wrote this down in my notes, which is so funny because I was like, ugh, I just know these women so well. I've only known them for like each person's total screen time of like 90 minutes. But Joellen is being the mediator. She's like, Liz, like, it's okay. Like, I just want you guys to be good. Like, I don't want you guys to be fighting. And Liz hates that Joellen is being the peacemaker. And this is where I realized this is not actually about what Joellen is saying. This isn't about Alicia. This isn't about any of it. This is about Liz being mad from a filming perspective. I think this has to do with programming and filming. We all know that they try to make a bunch of people from like Liz's life work on this TV, but I think that they're all criminals, so none of them made it. But I think in this situation, like Liz is annoyed that like Joellen is getting screen time. You know, they always say on TV shows, like on Housewives, they always say, "Oh, you really want a moment." When they say you really want a moment, what they mean is you really want to be the person who's like popping up on screen. And I'm not going to be the person that like helps you pop up on screen, you know? And I think in this situation, Liz is realizing that Joellen gets to be the mediator. Joellen, who I think Liz was thinking was going to be the shit stir on this show, that was going to be her role in this group, Joellen now gets to be the peacemaker. And that is driving Liz insane. And it's crazy because I wrote this down and then, of course, she confirms it like multiple times throughout the rest of the episode. I do understand that it feels hard to feel misunderstood. Like, I get where Liz is where she's like, great, now I look like a fucking monster. The cameras are going to think I'm crazy. And now Joellen won't drop it and Alicia won't stop crying. And now I look like a crazy person. So I get feeling misunderstood, but Liz, you're not helping. Liz in this situation could have very well been like, Alicia, she could have come around the corner. She could have sat with Alicia and I said, Alicia, I'm sorry. I completely understand what you're saying. I get where you're coming from. I apologize for policing your tone or your language or the words that you're using. It's your family, it's your story, and I don't have a right to say anything regardless of how well my sister knows your mom or whatever, you know? She could have done that, but instead she just behaved so bizarrely that methinks some skiing was involved. I think perhaps Liz hit the slopes, if you know what I mean. Anyway, another friend joins. It's a wife of football player who is also best friends with Rosie. I don't know. Rosie and Rich make it on stage, and I see where Rosie needs to work because I don't know if this man really sounds like Sinatra. I couldn't tell. I was like, is there any background music? Like, what's going on? I don't know. It was weird. Anyway, Liz is pissed because Alicia now has stopped crying. Alicia has stopped crying and Alicia's having a nice time. So this really pisses Liz off because she's like, oh, now you're going to act like everything's fine. Now I look like a crazy person. So she goes out to have a cigarette and I love it. I love it. I love watching women on TV smoke. I love the sight of a woman in a back alley sucking down a tar stick. There's just something about it that feels so retro. I'm not saying that smoking cigarettes is good for you. I'm not saying that people should be doing it, but it is nice to see it on TV. You know, it's very real. It is. But she goes out there. And here's the thing. If you're a person who has ever existed in the world and you saw a woman in the back alley of somewhere sucking down a cigarette, you know she fucking needs it. She's not having a good day. If she took a break to go out, you know what it reminds me of? When I was in middle school, the room where we had I don't know if they still do this, but in Pennsylvania in the 90s when I was in middle school, they had home ec and engineering, robotics. It wasn't called engineering or robotics. I think it was just called industrial studies or something like that. I think that's what it was, like industrial lessons or so. Anyway, in that class, we did all kinds of stuff. We made clipboards. We also learned how to change tires, but it was like this like big empty space. It was like woodworking, but before wood. Regardless, where it was had giant windows, and it was almost like this like shed in the back of the school. But the shed had like these giant windows, and the windows were facing the teacher's parking lot. You would always see the middle school teachers in the back. They were smoking in their smoke break. And there was just something like, you could just tell that those teachers, like, I feel like nowadays teachers would like go out of their way to make sure that the kids don't see them smoke. But those 90s teachers, they said, yeah, those fucking kids need to know. I'm sucking back this tar stick because I'm fucking stressed out from dealing with you guys all day. There's just something about sucking back a cigarette, you know? Anyway, regardless, I lost my train of thought and my notes. Oh, they're in the back, and Joellen joins Liz, and she's trying to be cute with her, but Liz is being an absolute cunty McGrew. She's just being a monster. Liz calls Joellen a disingenuous motherfucker, which really triggers my girl Joellen, a woman who was raised by a woman who didn't believe her. That's who Joellen is. That's what we know about her. She is a woman who was raised by a woman who is dedicated to misunderstanding her, who is dedicated to labeling her as the fucking problem. And here's Liz, another older woman, dedicated to misunderstanding Joellen, dedicating herself to being like, Joellen is who she is. I know exactly the person she's always been, and she is incapable of being anything else. Liz has decided who Joellen is. And so when Joellen shows a different side of herself, Liz does not accept it. And that is probably so triggering to Joellen. That's really upsetting. So Joellen goes back to the table, and she's trying to talk sense to this sourpuss, nasty bitch, Liz, while Rich is singing Fool's Russian. It's very funny. The whole thing is very funny. But Joellen finally decides to disengage after Liz pulls her hair, turns her back to her, and then Liz is like whispering God knows what into Joellen's ear. She's kicking her chair. Yummy, nasty work. Horrible to watch. Horrible to experience. Very exciting to watch. And Alicia is saying to Joellen, do not react. Do not react. Because I want to know, turn those mics back up. What was Liz whispering in Joellen's ear? What was she saying about her? Was she saying what Rhula alludes to later? I don't know. But Joellen gets annoyed and she leaves. And a surprise to no one is at the end, Ashley is crying. Ashley, why are you crying? Why are you crying? Anyway, cut to commercial and we're back to Rhode Island. Okay, we see Rhula for 5 seconds. I honestly thought this 5-second scene at the trampoline park, that's all we were going to see of her. But I did notice this episode compared to how Rhula's showing up now. Rhula got some work done. I think Rhula got a nose job. She looks great. Alicia goes to dinner with her aunties to celebrate her daughter Selena's dance trophy. And Alicia tells the aunts about this whole feud with Liz. And she explains to them about the homeless situation and all of the women in Alicia's family, the ones that Liz was so worried about. She has a big, beautiful family. She wasn't homeless. She had a big, beautiful family. Her family is so big and beautiful. She wasn't homeless. She was left homeless. She had a home and she no longer had that home anymore. Liz really wanted to protect these women. She didn't want Alicia. Oh, Alicia who can't read. Alicia who plays with dollies. Liz wanted to be the big mama, and she wanted to teach Alicia how to behave and how to act and how to show up on camera. And guess what, Liz? You're failing because Alicia is adorable and everybody loves her. And her aunt and her mom all agree with the homeless situation. They all completely validate what Alicia says. And this is why Alicia's, I think, being as real as she possibly can. Like, I don't think that she knows how to put up a facade, a word she can't read. The aunts say that Liz is jealous. And I love Alicia because she's like, no, why would she, guys, why would Liz be jealous of me?
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. You know those friends who support your preference for podcasts over music on road trips? That's the energy State Farm brings to insurance. With over 19,000 local agents, they help you find the coverage that fits your needs. So you can spend less time worrying about insurance and more time enjoying the ride. Download the State Farm app or go online at statefarm.com. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You thought this was your Run Club era. Turns out, it was more of a thinking about Run Club era. The good news? Someone's marathon training is about to start. Sell your workout gear on Depop. Just snap a few photos, and we'll take care of the rest. They get their race day fit, and you get a payout for trying. Someone on Depop wants what you've got. Start selling now. Depop, where taste recognizes taste.
Do you hear that? Sounds like breakfast is ready. Because Quaker's coming in hot with morning nutrition. 100% whole grain oats and a good source of fiber to fuel the rhythm of your morning and kickstart your day. And that sounds absolutely delicious. Fuel to start whatever's next. Quaker, official sponsor of FIFA World Cup 26.
This episode is brought to you by Netflix. The Four Seasons is back for season 2, starring Tina Fey, Will Forte, Coleman Domingo, Marco Calvani, Carrie Kenny Silver, and Erica Henningsen. After a difficult year, your favorite group of friends continues their tradition of vacationing together, now with a baby in tow. From the Jersey Shore to upstate New York and Italy, their getaways are sure to take unexpected turns where comedy ensues. Watch The Four Seasons, now streaming only on Netflix.
Chronic migraine, 15 or more headache days a month, each lasting 4 hours or more, can make me feel like a spectator in my own life.
Botox, onabotulinum toxin A, prevents headaches in adults with chronic migraine. It's not for those with 14 or fewer headache days a month. It's the #1 prescribed branded chronic migraine preventive treatment.
Prescription Botox is injected by your doctor. Effects of Botox may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away, as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness can be signs of a life-threatening condition. Patients with these conditions before injection are at highest risk. Side effects may include allergic reactions, neck and injection site pain, fatigue, and headache. Allergic reactions can include rash, welts, asthma symptoms, and dizziness. Don't receive Botox if there's a skin infection. Tell your doctor your medical history, muscle or nerve conditions, including ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, myasthenia gravis, or Lambert-Eaton syndrome, and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects.
Why wait? Ask your doctor, visit BotoxChronicMigraine.com, or call 1-800-44-BOTOX to learn more.
Oh, sweet Alicia. So, why would she be jealous of me? I'm not married. I got engaged in like a really shitty way. I didn't even like the way that Billy proposed to me. Like, no, I'm not married, and I don't have a dime in my name. Like, why? Why would I be jealous? Why would she be jealous? There's nothing to be jealous of here. Liz has a beautiful life. Like, she would. Sweet Alicia. And then her Aunt Judy's like, I think it's the medication. I think it's the marijuana. And Sweet Alicia's like, no, Liz is really respectful of it. Like, Sweet Alicia. But it's smart because like this can't get Alicia into trouble. Well, I spoke too soon, because apparently in the after show, Alicia says, you're not Italian. You're not Big Ange, about Liz, which makes me wonder if Liz is maybe not Italian. I know she's half Syrian, but if Liz is just half white and half Syrian and she's acting that way, it is weird. But if Liz is half Italian and half Syrian, and Alicia is saying that she's not full Italian because she's half Arab, that's fucked up. I got news for you guys. If you have family that is from anywhere within the Mediterranean coast, we're all mixed up. They're all mixed up. Not we. I'm from South Asia. But, you know, the people of the Med, the Greeks, the Arabs, the Turks, the Spaniards, everybody, Italians, the entire region was colonized by multiple different groups of people many, many times. The blood's all mixed. Okay. Anyway, where are we? Where are my notes? Liz visits Dolores at her summer rental, and Kelsey joins as well. And Liz shares her recollection of what happened in Boston on Sinatra night. And it's exactly what I clocked in my notes earlier. Liz is mad that Joellen gets to come off as a mediator when she knows, and as far as the whole group knows, that Joellen is a shit stirrer. And that's fucked up. Because here's the thing. I see myself in Joellen a lot. She is a shit stirrer, but I feel like she cares. Like, the fact that she like dropped her shit with Rosie and was like, no, I like Rosie. Like, Rosie's great. Like, I don't understand why people are so mad at Joellen all the time. Anyway, it was like a whatever scene. We go to beach day, and Rosie and Rich with Rosie and Rich and Rich's family. And it's just a scene where a big family tries to convince a woman to have a baby and she really doesn't want to. Okay, I don't care. Another pointless scene is Ashley and Jared. Listen, I don't care. Keep the lease. Don't keep the lease. Who gives a fuck? Kelsey then invites Joellen over for paint night. Paint night. By the way, on the Valley, she had crab night. And Brittany was so Elmo. She was so Cookie Monster. Not even Elmo. She was Cookie Monster. She was like, shrimp. Yes. Anyway, sorry. Back to Rhode Island. Kelsey invites Joellen for pint night. And before we get into it, let's just talk for a second. Kelsey's apartment, does anybody live there? Because why does it look like it's a rental? She has one like side table with all of her like pageant shit displayed, but it has like plaques that are meant for hanging on walls, but instead she has them sort of just like on top of a table. It's like not the way a normal human would have. So it makes me feel like this is an Airbnb. Anyway, these two, Joellen and Kelsey, they talk about what happened. And Joellen asked Kelsey, like, did I do something wrong? And Kelsey's like, no, because she's already had shit with Liz and she's not trying to get into it again. And I appreciate Joellen for being like, why won't you say anything to Liz? And Kelsey's like, I just don't want to. Guys, I've said this like every week. I've implied it in some way, allegedly. I just feel like there is some sort of like drug kingpin Madam Escort business happening here between Liz and Kelsey. And it makes me feel scared for Kelsey. The scene ends with a painting of a sunset and one of a slam peg. It's beautiful. Liz and Rula meet up, and Rula is very excited because Liz is just there to talk shit about Joellen. You know, she doesn't really give a crap about Rula. Rula says that Liz reached out after that mysterious ailment. The mysterious ailment that led like 2 weeks later to her being at like a trampoline park doing flips. Anyway, but Liz basically uses this lunch with Rula to talk shit about Joellen and say that Joellen is inauthentic. And basically because she wants Rula to validate her own feelings about Joellen. She doesn't care about Rula. She's using Rula. And Rula basically says Joellen is a cheater, pumpkin eater. At this point in the show, I do have to point out that I feel like Liz, again, realizes she's on an island unto herself. The only person she can really film with is Kelsey and Dolores. So she has to go and grovel and try to get Rula to be back in the group. Because she doesn't have anybody else. Who is she going to fill with? Ashley and Jared? Please. There's a scene at the gym with Kelsey and the boyfriend. Listen, I care about this as much as they care about Aubrey's. The lease at Aubrey's. I know it's Audrey's, but Alicia says Aubrey's, so I'm going to say Aubrey's. I don't care about it. Keep the boyfriend, don't keep the boyfriend. I don't care. I don't care about this relationship. Kelsey is boring, you guys. She's very boring. All she talks about is what her ex pays for or doesn't pay for. She also says in the scene that Bill looks like Hercules. I beg your fucking pardon. And then she also describes Hercules as a mermaid. And I said, you have no idea who Hercules is. Are you thinking about Ariel's dad, King Triton? Because Bill also doesn't look like him. Bill Wish, okay? Bill Wish. Bill looks like a thumb, okay? He also says he doesn't want Kelsey to have attachment to the ex. But Kelsey apparently needs it because she needs insurance. Bill, are you putting Kelsey on your health insurance? Because she needs it. She used to have a brain tumor. Okay. You don't want to pay for it. You thumb mermaid man can go get fucked. Okay. Anyway, the episode ends with Joellen and Liz meeting up. And Joellen's intentions are simply to make this better. And Liz's intentions are to continue being a bitch cunt face. Okay. Both ladies want apologies. It's very ominous. Rain starts. It's very dramatic. But Liz says that she took offense to Joellen positioning herself as a mediator and not defending Liz enough. She hated the fact that Joellen kept saying, Alicia, your feelings are valid. Listen, Alicia's crying. What do you want her to say? What do you want her to say to her? Like, oh, Alicia, get fucked, stop crying. She's not going to say that. Joellen said, your feelings are valid. I understand what you're saying. Liz is saying this other thing. Also, Joellen did say to Liz like 50 times, hey, I know you already apologized to Alicia. This isn't about that. I just want you to be okay. And Joellen asks, Liz, why are you being mean? You're being really cruel to me. I don't understand why. You were one of my best friends. And Liz says, you're not my friend. You're fake. And I might want to just raise that when we saw the flashback with Kelsey and Liz's fight, Liz said the same thing. She said, you're fake, you're a fraud, you're a phony. I think Liz doesn't trust anybody. I think Liz thinks that everybody thinks that she's a joke. I think Liz thinks that everybody is talking about her because I think Liz does things to make people talk about her. And she's so insecure about that she shows up in a place of defense. So either you treat her with kid gloves and you make her feel like she's the center of your universe and that she is the matriarch and everybody should be paying attention to what she has to say, or you're a fake phony fraud and she wants nothing to do with you. Like she also said like she felt ganged up on, like it was like so stupid. But Joellen asked her like, why did you pull my hair or kick my chair? And Liz is like, no, you're attacking me and I don't want to be here and you're the devil. She calls her a freak. The only person behaving like a freak is you, ma'am. You're the one acting like a freak. You know who else is a freak? Is the preview we saw Brian, Rula's thumb of a husband. Guys, I'm going to say something really cool. He looks like an embryo. He has a face of like an underdeveloped fetus. That's what he looks like. Anyway, he looks undercooked, but also overcooked because he's always sweating. Anyway, Brian is belly dancing. And he looks like a freak. Anyway, that's it for Rhode Island. Let's talk about Atlanta. We open back up on the sound bath where Kelly and Portia are fighting. Portia says, we all know who the married man is that you were fucking. And I love Angela because while Portia's hurling all these, we know about the pastor. We know who you're fucking. I love Angela. She's us because she says, who is he? Yeah, guys, name names. Okay, can you just tell us? Can you write it down? Can you like spell it out? Can you do a charade? I just want to know who this person is, you know? Portia calls Kelly all kinds of things. She says Kelly's a follower. She calls her hobbit. She calls her, what did she call her? A big tittied fucking fly? Okay. This is a show where like you just have to ignore the body shaming because there's so much of it. When I talk about the reality is a show about my podcast about my problematic love for reality TV. This is the kind of problematic love that like cracks a problematic love that I have. This is the stuff that cracks me up. Pinky, Kelly, K. Michelle, and Shamia are having a loser convention again. And Kelly and Shamia leave together as losers too. And K. Michelle, I have to say, is a confessional gangster because she has a lot of shit to say about Drew. Like she says like Drew has face, which she does, which is true. Drew does have face, but you're mad at Drew for no reason at all. Like, I can't wait to talk about the other rumors she says that Drew was going to spread. It's just so funny. But anyway, I love Phaedra because she hands them all their to-go plates and says, get the fuck out of here. The only people who can stay are Angela and Portia. But Kay and Pinky are talking in the car ride and Pinky's saying like, I think Portia really is your friend. I don't know why you're being so angry. But Kay says something like, you don't run me and you don't run Atlanta. And again, I think this is about screen time and center peaches. Like this doesn't actually, Kay Michelle doesn't care about anything else. She just cares about feeling left out. She feels like these people are going to gang up on her because she knows how the show works. Like Kay Michelle, did you not know what show you were joining? If you were coming in as Portia's friend, like, are you familiar with the scepter and the hair pulling from Phaedra of Portia's second reunion? Are you aware of why Phaedra used to be on the show and then she wasn't for a little while and then now she came back after being a hit on Traitors? Do you know what show you're on? Because I think that I actually do think that she knows what show she's on. And I think those are the reasons why, like it just clicked in my brain. I think those are the reason why Shamia is so, K. Michelle is so stressed out that she thinks that everybody is going to plan something or plot something because she's the newest person there. But K. Michelle, you don't need to worry about it because Pinky is filing for bankruptcy and what's her face? Kelly is a disaster. You were not going to be picked on, you know? Anyway, Shamia has a scene with her family, and like her sister's shirt says, I don't care, I don't know, and I don't give a fuck. She's like, everybody's worried that like everybody's saying like I'm the reason why like the group is divided. You are. You are. You and Kelly are moving really weird together. It's weird that you are now besties with a woman that was talking shit about your ex-bestie. And now that girl is still fighting with your ex-bestie. And you're going to say you're not the reason why the group is divided? Okay. She also shares this thing about like her surrogacy and the failed transfers and all of that and like raising a special needs child. I don't want to say that I don't give a fuck about that. I think that's important. I think it's a struggle. After my son went through treatment for brain cancer, there was a time period where I didn't know what kind of a child he was going to be. I still don't know. I mean, he's 12 and he's doing great. But like at the time we weren't sure if like he would need, and he did for a long time. He was in occupational therapy and physical therapy and speech therapy, and he had an individualized education plan at school. So there's a lot of stuff that we needed to add in as supplements to make sure that he like caught up to speed with all the other kids. And luckily he did. But there was a long time when he was growing up where we were like not sure if that's if it was going to improve. But I'm saying that because there was a time period where I really wanted 3 kids. I have 2 boys and I really wanted a third and I wanted to try for a girl. And during that time when we weren't sure what kind of kid my kid was going to grow up to be, if he was going to be a fully functioning adult who could take care of himself, I had to put a pause on wanting a third child because I was like, there's a possibility that I will need to care for my son for the rest of my life, you know? And when I say care for him, I mean like actually, you know, he would have to be dependent on me. And so I waited a long time to decide whether or not I wanted a third kid because I wasn't sure. And so her talking about her daughter, you know, potentially needing additional help and her staying her baby forever, like all of that is really hard. And that does come into your brain when you're wanting to have more kids. And if I'm being honest, it's probably a big reason why I didn't end up having a third child. I got my tubes removed. I said, that's okay. I don't think I want to do this again. You know, not because I don't like, I wouldn't love another child if they had other, you know, needs or another child that God forbid also had cancer. I would obviously take care of that child, but I knew my heart couldn't handle it. So I said no. I do think that with Shamia, a lot of it sounds like it's like pressing from her husband. He's being like, I want to give Gerald a son. Yikes. You need to take that talk over to Santa Clarita. We do not appreciate that here. Kelly meets with Phaedra, and to be honest, I don't care. I don't care about Kelly. She pisses me off and she really bothers me. She like apologizes to Phaedra for acting crazy and then is like, oh, it's because of my divorce and da 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 da. And I'm going through it. Well, you know what? You know who was going through a divorce last year? It was Portia. And you started shit with her. You showed up and you started shit with her. And now she's, in Portia's words, getting her licks back. So it's kind of on you that this is happening. Piggy has a photo shoot with her kids, and Angela and Cynthia join. And this is when they talk about the sound bath and they explain to Cynthia what's going on. And Cynthia says, I am going to act as a mediator and I'm going to bring the group back together. And then they're like, Angela, you do need to meet with Shamia because we don't know what's going on here with you two. We head over to the dentist's office where Kelly is getting new teeth. Guess what, Kelly? They look like shit. She looks crazy with those new teeth. Guys, the veneers are not good, okay? They're not good. Everybody looks crazy with the veneers. Kelly, your new teeth look bad. Just because they were free doesn't mean that they look good. In fact, because they were free, they probably look worse. Her sugar daddy, Jarvis or Jar Jar Binks or whoever he is, this man paid for teeth. He bought her flowers. He gave her a necklace with the kids' pictures on. It was very strange. We found out that the man is introduced by Shamia. Feels a little convenient that after the storyline that Portia reveals that like she's been fucking a married pastor, that suddenly Kelly's had a boyfriend for a year? Huh. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Kelly has a boyfriend for a year right after Portia reveals that she's been fucking a married pastor. Huh. How weird that suddenly, and Shamia's always there to validate Kelly and this, oh, he's a good man. He's a good man, Savannah. He's a good man, Kelly. You deserve it. Why didn't this man come? Who was the man that came to Portia's dinner in the beginning of the season? Who was that guy? Why are we just hearing about Jarvis now? I can't believe that they were calling him Jarvis. Anyway, I call phony. Drew has a meeting with her people and it is hilarious. We got everybody there. We got photographers, makeup artists, hair people, clothes people, publicists, drivers. It was so funny because everybody is sitting there sort of looking at the cameras like, why are we here? Why are we here? Am I being paid for this meeting? Like the hairstylist is like, why am I here with the driver? But then we find out that there's beef. There's beef between the hairstylist and the assistant. The assistant says the hair is bad. The wigs are lifting. It's so funny. While everyone is fighting, somebody says something about a double stuffed Oreo. And then during all this confusion, Drew is tapping her head like this wig better not be lifting too. It's not, Drew. You look beautiful. But, to go back to K. Michelle's point, Drew had face the whole time. She's like, I don't know. I just like work. And then like there's beef. And like, I don't know. Are you guys getting a spinoff? What is this? What is this? Anyway, K, Michelle, Pinky, Cynthia, and Portia go to dinner to make amends with Portia and Kay. And honestly, it's a perfectly pleasant conversation. But I don't believe K. Michelle. I feel like she's a confessional gangster. She just says stuff in the moment to make amends, but then like she'll go to the confessionals or she'll go to Twitter. Like she's gonna start shit somewhere else. But Kay says that she shares about the scheme. She says that she heard that Phaedra, Portia, and Drew made an effort to find out about Kay. And the plan was one, linking her to some guy that she's not actually hooking up with, Black. 2, a vagina rumor, a nasty rumor about her vagina being dirty from 8 years ago. 3, and guys, this is the worst one, that her toes are long.
Tomorrow morning is knocking. Stock your fridge now. How about a creamy mocha frappuccino drink? Or a sweet vanilla? Smooth caramel maybe? Or a white chocolate mocha? Whichever you choose, delicious coffee awaits. Find Starbucks Frappuccino drinks wherever you buy your groceries.
K. Michelle, please. You sound nuts. I love it. Don't change. But you sound crazy. For her to be like, Drew is the head of all of this. She's the one that's been looking up. Like, I understand Portia saying like Drew she has a history of looking up things about people, which fine. Like they all do. But the thing about the toes is so funny. Like, her toes are long? Okay. My husband famously, my husband loves to talk about the fact that my nail to meat ratio on my toes is off because I have little fat feet. My feet are fat. And so my nail beds are tiny. And so I've got tiny nail beds and big fat feet. And so my husband's always like, your meat to nail ratio is off. He will massage my feet. He is a lover. He does not think that my feet are ugly. But he do be pointing out that I've got feet like a baby. Anyway, I digress. Long toes? Tell me more. What is this? Anyway, whatever. It's stupid. Shamia and Angela meet up to clear the air, and Shamia just talks a bunch of shit about Angela. She calls her Sasquatch. She's a size 12 shoes, big woman, all this stuff. Shamia wants to know why Angela says that Shamia is the one that's causing the division. Because because the division is with Portia. All of the people that Shamia doesn't like now don't like, and all of the people that Shamia doesn't like, K. Michelle now also doesn't like. Shamia doesn't like Portia. Shamia doesn't like Drew. And now K. Michelle has a problem with Portia and Drew. Also, Shamia's not a big fan of Phaedra because Phaedra took her bestie spot. So, yeah, I think it's pretty easy, Shamia. It's like I could do the math. I can watch the math happening. But in this fight, which is Atlanta does this the best. Atlanta loves to have sit downs where people just say insults to each other. And Angela is so good at it. Angela says, I never laid on my back to get on my feet. That was you. Oh, that is good. You know who does lay on their back to get on their feet? Amanda Batula. I would say that that's pretty accurate for her. But Shamia says something about, I don't know what she's saying, honestly. But Angela essentially implies that Shamia's out in these streets. And Shamia's like, no, your husband's out in these streets. And Angela's like, yeah, and my husband saw you out in those streets. So are you the one that's laying on your back to get on your feet? Are you the one that's stepping out on your husband? And that makes Shamia get up and walk away, which tells me, hit a nerve? Did Angela hit a nerve on you, Shamia? I think so. Well, guys, that's it. Those are my thoughts about Atlanta and Rhode Island and a little bit on the Valley. I will be back tomorrow I'll be back on Thursday to talk Summer House and In the City with Kaya Wilson from Bravo or Black. And then I will be back on the weekend to talk about the first week of Love Island. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Also, I hear you guys about my sound. We're working on it, okay? I got a new mic. I'm working on the sound. I feel like you guys can hear me pretty clearly. It's just my guests sometimes don't have the best audio. But I'm not going to force people to get mics. What are you, crazy? I don't have a studio. Invite people to listen. More people sign up to my Patreon. Maybe I'll make money enough to get studio space. I don't know. But I hear you about the sound, okay? I'm working on it. Also, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. If you're new here and you found me recently, please love me. Be nice. All of that. And I look forward to talking to you again. See you later. Bye.
At Blinds.com, it's not just about window treatments. It's about you, your style, your space, your way. Whether you DIY or want the pros to handle it all, you'll have the confidence of knowing it's done right. From free expert design help to our 100% satisfaction guarantee, everything we do is made to fit your life and your windows. Shop up to 40% off with minimum purchase and a free professional measure right now at Blinds.com. Plus, pay at your own pace starting at 0% APR with Affirm. Terms apply.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
This Father's Day, when you ship UPS Air at the UPS store, your items arrive on time or your money back, guaranteed at no extra cost. It's like the father of all shipping services. It shows up to the airport way too early, just to play it safe. It's overprotective about all the things that truly matter. And it's always prompt, especially to be with family. Make it your first choice to celebrate your dad. Ship UPS Air with our money-back guarantee, exclusively at the UPS Store U.S. retail locations. Visit the upsstore.com/airshipping for full details. Terms and conditions apply.